So and now since you did mention it, you're talking about you're going to NYC and NYU.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your goal with that? What is your, let's say every check mark gets hit perfectly. What do you view as your end goal with it? Or your first step done?
I mean, what in my wildest dreams, I get to write for major publications. I get to write kind of opinion pieces. I really enjoy a lot of the journalism of the 60s, like the more like opinion. Like I hate using the word gonzo because I feel like if you use the word gonzo, like you shouldn't have to tell people you're gonzo. Either you are or you fucking aren't. But in my dreams, I get to do stuff like Hunter S. Thompson and Joan Didion and other people where you're in the story, but the story isn't about you. You're like able to bring an experience to your readers in a way that opens up people's minds to new ideas and other ways of being and helps like foster understanding. I'd like to keep working on far right stuff. That's become very dangerous for me because the far right hasn't received word that I'm a fascist. No one has told them. So they don't like me at all. And I've been run out of several rallies. I have to go in disguise. They've started to look for me when I'm in disguise. So I don't know if that's possible for me, but ideally I would like to keep working on the far right. Maybe that means higher up on the chain and like no more street balls, more like the people getting these ideas out to the masses, the kind of elites using these people or thinking they are. So that's a long way of saying I'd really just like to write in a cool way about the far right and other things that are interesting in a way that gets me lots of views. Because if you got something to say, like you want people to see it, right? So that's the dream.
Are you concerned with any form of muzzling? I'm going to phrase it that way.
I mean, right. Yeah, that's always a concern, especially if you're trying to break into the mainstream. But I'd rather be myself than get into those publications. So if the time has passed when somebody can be kind of a freak or very opinionated as I am, then I guess I will not be writing for mainstream publications. And that is fine.
Well, one of the benefits I can see, because please do not take this as an insult, you are a personality. You stand out just in casual conversation. The red hair is probably a good help too.
Yeah.
Actually, would you describe that red or orange off topic?
I describe it as red. It got a little bit bleached in the sun when I recently retreated into the woods for a week of not being online. But yeah, we'll go red.
Okay. Which I hope you had a fun trip with that.
10 out of 10. Would vanish into the woods again.
I personally, I've been out here in Portland and I need to do hiking and stuff like that, but that's a longer conversation. So what was I saying? My brain just turned off. Because you are a personality, you have an edge that almost no one else will have. So, without saying the person's name, if I started talking really fast in a high-pitched voice, who am I mimicking?
Really fast? I mean, that sounds a little bit like Mr. Shapiro to me. I don't know if that's you in mind. Yeah.
What I'm saying is he's a personality. He is somebody who will draw an audience no matter who he's associated with. Because you have a personality of your own, which is really good. Even if, like, say you ended up with the New York Times, and they're like, hey, you're too liberal for us, and they kick you out, you're going to have a fan following who's going to follow you no matter where you end up, even if you started going OFP.
I certainly hope so. I mean, I'd like that. It is, I have never been able to blend into a crowd when I'm being myself. I was able to do it by being very quiet in the Patriot prayer circles. But yeah, I seem to stand out, and I appreciate the compliment. I hope that's true. We'll find out.
Well, from what I've seen of your work, especially, I believe that you can succeed. It's all about as long as you don't become afraid of being who you are, which from everything I've seen, I don't think you will. I not for long. There have been brief periods in my life where I've tried to be another kind of person, and it has not worked out for me at all. I will. This is not quite related, but I think it is a little bit. That I feel like Twitter is a strange place in that way because it's basically a Skinner box. It very much rewards and punishes certain kinds of behavior. And it is easy on Twitter to fall into the pattern of saying things, people will like and avoiding things people won't. And for a little bit, I think I did that. I'm trying to get away from that. I think it's always a challenge to stay true to yourself, especially in an environment where every single thing you say or do becomes codified in stone forever. But, one can only try.